Maybe you're rich already.
No.
Who knows? No, not the case. So it really is public service,
Yeah.
as they say. The Willie Picton pig farm, of course, in Port Coquitlam, on the farm. Stevie Cameron has finished that book. It's, in essence, a public inquiry into it. What's the status of the land? What's going on there?
Yeah, it's unfortunate as a community that it happened to be located there, but the land is still owned by the Picton family. Obviously, there's many liens on that land from the provincial government because they paid the legal fees, and so it's really sitting with them right now. The brother of Willie Picton does do some farming on it. There's some cows on it and that sort of thing, but that's kind of the status. It's really in limbo at this point.
So at this point, no idea what will happen to the property. As you say, the Pictons still own it.
That's right.
I'm assuming. So that'll go through the courts or not. More to be said. And Stevie Cameron will be here in a couple of weeks, so she may know something. Have you read On the Farm yet?
Have I, pardon?
Have you read On the Farm
No,
yet?
I haven't.
No, it's just out.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure. I've got a copy, but it's because we get early copies. But it's an incredible book, really.
I'm sure.
Air quality, environmental sustainability in Port Coquitlam. Any issues?
An important issue for sure. We actually
Railroad.
yeah, we just brought forward and are in the final stages of bringing our first ever environmental strategic plan. So to bring together a document that not only will help guide us as an organization, but as a community of how we can reduce our footprint and be more environmentally friendly. So that's really exciting to be at that level of a strategic document. So every decision we make now, we'll look at the environmental impacts of that decision going forward.
Youth in the community. Obviously you have community centers. How to keep kids out of trouble in Port Coquitlam. Any innovative ideas there?
We got 2 youth centers on, we're kind of divided by the tracks in Port Coquitlam on both sides of town, although we're connected now because we built this phenomenal Coast Meridian overpass that connects both sides of our community. We have a very aggressive, actually aggressive is probably the wrong word, outreaching youth program that's very inviting. As I said, I was a youth worker, so I have a lot of passion there, and the youth centers are still there, and our schools do such a good job of engaging our community, and sports is a really big topic in our community. A lot of kids play sports, and they continue to play sports throughout school, so that's an important factor as well.
And one of the great citizens Port Coquitlam spawned, Terry Fox. The run's this Sunday, isn't it? 30th?
30th anniversary.
30 years
hard
ago,
to believe.
was it really?
Yeah.
I didn't think I was that old, but I obviously am because I had the pleasure of knowing Terry Fox and interviewing him a few times. And
yeah, my dad was his coach.
Really?
His soccer coach at Poco High at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a connection, and that's one thing, and I'd urge everybody that's watching this to come to the hometown run, because there's nothing like the hometown run. Rick Hansen's there as one of the speakers and does the run as well. He just doesn't speak and leave, he does the run. My dad's the MC of the run, who taught Terry, or coached Terry, sorry, and taught at the local high school for 35 years. So he knows everybody coming across the finish line. It's really just got a nice small town, hometown feel, and it's just it's a fabulous place to be. And
a little food and a little fun, I'm sure, and a great fundraiser.
Yeah, absolutely.
So your other passions, you sit on some volunteer boards, one being the Macmillan Planetarium.
Yeah.
Why? Space. It's not called planetarium. It's called the Macmillan Space.
The H.R. Macmillan Space Center.
H.R. Macmillan Space Center.
Yeah.
Interested in stars and planets, or?
Not as much, funny enough, but they asked me to sit on because they were looking to be more sustainable and in an operation and how they go forward. And one of the things about sustainability is we're always looking at the Earth. And where are we looking at the Earth from the space? So there is a direct connection there, and so I sit on the board to help them with understanding sustainability and also governance. And we're always looking for money, and we're always reaching out to the provincial and federal government, and so I help them with that as well.
And you sit on the Terry Fox Run Committee too, don't you?
Actually, I used to. I used to chair the Terry Fox Hometown Run, but it was way too much work and with everything else. So.
Well, you can't do everything.
Yeah.
Now, the fun part of this is 7 questions for the mayors, and there have been some great answers, as you can probably imagine. So, first one, 3 things you would change if money was no object. You had all the money in the world, you could do whatever you wanted, or change something in the world, make a huge difference.
Yeah, so, you know, these were great questions, by the way. They sure got me to think, and great conversation with my wife about it as well. Actually, I got my wife and daughter to fill it out first, and then give it to me to see what their answers were.
So they helped you.
Yeah. The first one was, you know, we always strive for world peace, and, you know, we know what peace is around here, and it would just be glorious if everybody else in the world could have the same freedom that you and I have. And then poverty. You know, I think if we could eliminate poverty, because, you know, it's one of the big issues that we deal with around here, you know, is homelessness. And, you know, we started a new Homes for Good Society in Port Coquitlam to try to end homelessness. And the last one, just we're on the eve of Terry Fox's, you know, if we could eradicate cancer. It's such a terrible disease. I know our family, every family's had to go through it. And it's just something that I wish we could do more about.
Me too.
Yeah.
And we're, the scientists are in the labs working hard,
Absolutely.
as you know, and lots of money has been raised, but wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
It's almost a chronic disease now. The stats came out the other day saying that it's not necessarily a death sentence. Well, we know that, but the fear of it.
Yeah.
Just the thought of it.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, the one thing that, if I could plug the Terry Fox Foundation, 87 cents of every dollar that's donated goes to cancer research. It is probably the leading organization on the amount or the percentage of money that actually goes to research,
right,
which is phenomenal. So when you give that dollar, majority of it's going to, and not all foundations and not all groups are that way, because administration is very expensive in some areas.
And many organizations, as you know, are a little top heavy.
Yeah.
But this isn't 87 cents
87
out of every dollar.
cents of every dollar.
Great. Who has a dream job? Not yours.
Well, I do, I think, but I had two. My wife chose the first one, which would be, and I think I'm shooting for it, but I don't practice enough to be on the senior PGA Tour, because I think that would be a great...
Really? Are you a scratch handicap or something?
No, not even close.
Oh, I see.
And I don't golf enough ever to get there, yeah. That would be the dream job. Or I think the CEO of Google would be really great.
Oh.
Because I love technology. I'm really kind of geeky on that technology side. But they are also doing so many phenomenal things on electrical management of electrical systems and some of their foundation work. So you get the social side of the job, but you also get the kind of geeky tech side.
Who's Prez? Eric Schmidt?
I think so.
I think
yeah,
he
I'm
is.
not sure.
I can't keep up with Google. But social media as a factor at a city level, I'm sure you use it at City Hall. Do you tweet? Do you blog?
Yeah, all of the above. And in fact,
Facebook.
I do it. Yeah, I do it myself. I tweeted that I'm here. But as a city, we're actually leading most areas. We have as many fans on our Facebook page as the City of Vancouver. And we use it as part of our engagement with our community, and there's debates going on, and we participate in the debates as well.
Okay, so if you don't turn into Tom Watson or Freddie Couples, maybe you can get a job at Google.
Maybe.
Okay, third question. If you could be anywhere else but here, where?
Oh, I love our cottage.
Our cottage?
Yeah.
But you're not from the East and you call it a cottage?
Yeah, you know, it's okay. I'll call it a cabin, but it's got that quaint little.
On a Gulf Island, where?
No, it's actually on Pitt Lake, which is just about half an hour from our house.
Okay, so close.
Middle of nowhere, and cell phone doesn't work, and
you get away.
Absolutely.
Do you have lights and heat? Shower?
We have all of that, but it's off the grid, so we have to generate it all, which makes you very environmentally friendly because you know the battery's charging the lights, so you make sure everything's turned off, and the water has to go into a septic system, and so you're very cautious of everything.
But the point is, it is half an hour away.
Yeah.
No ferry.
No.
No long drive.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's vote access only too, which is great because then people don't pop in unless you have a vote.
Oh, that too. That too. You have to go pick them up so you can pick and choose. 3 guests you would invite for dinner together, living, dead, fictional.
Yeah. So I chose Jesus. I think that would be phenomenal.
That would be interesting.
Terry Fox, I think would be phenomenal.
Terry and Jesus.
Yeah.
That'd be quite a discussion.
Yeah, and then of course I sort of put 3 as 2 with my wife and my daughter.
You didn't want any flack.
Well,
right? They say, hello, you're having Jesus and Terry Fox for dinner?
Yeah.
And you didn't invite us?
And you invited your dad? Come on.
You're smart.
So, yeah.
That's a good answer because other people have had like Jerry Seinfeld and Christopher Hitchens and John Prine and all of that, but no relatives.
Yeah.
So you see.
You're sharing this, right? In this unbelievable.
You'll get dinner.
Yeah.
A favorite book? Do you have a favorite book? Do you have a genre? Books you read?
Yeah, I
things you like?
Business books and leadership books. I like books on sustainability and urban planning, and I just finished a book yesterday on empowering your employees using social media and that sort of thing.
Oh, great.
Yeah, So
Stieg Larsson didn't grab you, that trilogy?
No.
Got me this summer. Best friend would say, your best friend would say, your song is?
Actually, my daughter chose this, and I thought it was great.
Okay.
No Sleep Till Brooklyn by the Beastie Boys.
A little rap? Is that
Yeah.
her favorite or yours?
That would be mine.
The Beastie Boys, Another Plane, Another Train.
There you go.
Why not? And in the movie version of your life, who do you cast to play you?
I chose Daniel Craig for the James Bond side of things.
Of course.
I don't think I'm that person, but I think I'd like to be that suave kind of guy.
How great would that be, driving around in that car?
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, not to mention the beautiful women and all of that. And you're too young to be Sean Connery or Roger Moore.
That's right.
But you are a Moore.
Thank you so much.
I thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Pleasure. Mayor Greg Moore, Port Coquitlam. And coming up, he puts out a glossy magazine called BC Business. Stay with us for a candid chat with Matt O'Grady, man of interesting editorial vision.